Okay, so part two of your review is going to focus on your knowledge and skills. It's about 500 words or approximately three and a half minutes, okay? So we have some different questions that we've used to help you to get going. The first one, before you started this topic, did you know much? What did you know? You can literally use the language of before I started this topic. I didn't know a lot. Maybe you did know a lot. Maybe you knew some basic information like what underwater knitting is, or maybe you had a definition, or maybe you knew who liked it, but you didn't know a lot. Or maybe you did know a lot. That's what we want you to tell us. And we want you to be specific. I knew that underwater knitting was a very cool sport. I knew this because I've been doing underwater knitting for the last 5 years. Then we're going to look at your folio and go back to that document you produced in term 2. And we're going to use this to guide your thinking. And the section that's really useful is your key findings. What were some of the main things you learned? So maybe pause this video and go find your folio, get your annotations, and then we're going to write down some of the stuff that was in there. What did you say you learned? So in my first annotation, I learned that underwater knitting is a really popular sport. And I found that out from the fan club website. And I thought that was important because I needed to know if it was popular before I kind of talked about underwater knitting, because I wanted to be able to see, you know, whether lots of people would be able to benefit from it or whatever. Or for me, you know, it was a first focus question, etc. So you would fill in this table with 2 to 3 different things you learnt. And it's really important that you're explaining why was this important for your topic? Why did you have to learn that? Then you're going to go onto a second page and you're going to talk about your skills. So we have a whole list of skills here that will be really, really useful for you to talk through. So, for example, writing emails. You know, you might have had to work with that. So you will definitely say, I developed my skills of writing emails by sending 3 different emails to professors. I had to practice, you know, spell check, and I had to practice using the right greeting, and I had to learn how to actually develop, you know, the right language and be polite and be ethical, etc. And then once you've done all that, you talk about why was that important. Well, it was really important to write emails so that I could get in touch with experts who then gave me lots of information. Or maybe it was really important for me to work with others because I had to do a survey. Or maybe it was really important for me to pick good sources because I needed better information. All totally useful things to write about. Number 4, what was the most useful way you collected your information and why was it useful? So we want you to say something like, my most useful process was using books, pamphlets, and print materials because it allowed me to get lots of information. You might then give us an example. Examples are really great. Something like, the best book that I read was Underwater Knitting for Dummies, and it was a textbook all about how to underwater knit, and it was a really great read because it taught me so much information. So how will you use the information is your next question. What did you actually get out of it? So you might say, you know, I'm not an underwater knitter. I'm never going to use this data in my life, but writing emails, you know, that might be useful. And that's helping to answer this question. Because then you might say, you know, I learned heaps about how to talk to strangers, how to work with others. You know, it was a really powerful experience for me. And I'd really like to, you know, develop those skills in the future.